out on us. We bought cars, we spent the money, we did all this thing. And think about it, they doing the same thing to Nolan. Yeah. Attack their jobs. It's if people don't see this is it's like they have a playbook.
Karmelo Anthony family found their way back into the conversation. Nolan Wells' mama gonna have to move over because Karmelo's mama, she showed up to play. Y'all so forgetful. They sentenced their son to 35 years in jail. That trial wasn't good enough. They want to do a retrial. They're about to do it all over again. Y'all make sure y'all check for their GoFundMe because they definitely about to hit y'all up in the pockets. We about to get into this news. Rest in peace to Nolan Wells. Ain't no way Karmelo getting out of jail because they found these text messages talking about he want to stab people and lick their blood. I ain't know he was a killer clown. Karmelo Anthony mama working on the mixtape because Nolan mama already platinum on YouTube. She doing podcasts, interviews every other day. She got her weight up. I don't know how Karmelo mama gonna compete. She gonna have to act a fool when she get on the podcast because they calling. They back on top. They rolling once again, getting that black vote. Ain't nothing they can do wrong. The foundation already set. All he gotta do is serve his time. Maybe they'll make some Karmelo cookies or something. Maybe they could get with Karmelo Anthony and put out some Karmelo jerseys or something. The sky's the limit. We just gonna have to wait and see. They on their road to riches. But I tell y'all one thing. They got some competition because Nolan mama and her Pooh Bears, they get busy. Y'all need to see this.
I'm asking for answers. That is it. That is all. Never asked for special treatment, none of that. But there are just a lot of people who's bothered. But what I will tell you is that there are a lot more people who, despite the nasty, negative narratives that are trying to be thrown out there, there's a lot of other people supporting me and my husband Elmore. I don't know if that's even a good way to describe this hurt, but yeah. But I just want to say thank you guys. Like, I'm telling y'all, like, thank you so much. Thank you to all the content creators.
Nolan's mama's situation is a whole lot different than their situation. Nolan got killed. Karmelo killed somebody. So what are they really talking about here? They found text messages of this man being knife crazy, craving to kill. And they still want to let that boy out of jail? It's like she raising a kennel or something. They took down one of her dogs and she hollering at the moon how she want him to come back home. Okay, let's be real about this because I know y'all sensitive people out there, hurtful, sad, and miserable a lot of times. So we just gonna move on. Before you get mad at what I'm saying, listen to what they got to say about Karmelo.
John, today we are hearing a lot of new evidence that was never made public during the trial, including details of what investigators found on Karmelo Anthony's phone and why it is that they believe he took a knife to this track meet last year in April. During opening statements, prosecutors revealed Anthony had a documented pattern of obsession with knives and guns. What? In one text message, Anthony allegedly fantasized about stabbing someone, writing, "When I stab somebody, I'm gonna lick their blood off the Prosecutors say they also have numerous examples of Anthony's desire to start fights and to be in fights, and they argue that's what he went to the track meet to do that day. The reason none of that came out at trial is that the defense and prosecution had what they're describing as a gentleman's agreement, an off-the-record understanding that neither side would go into character evidence, including allegations of violence and bullying by Austin Metcalf. Instead, both sides would focus on what happened under the tent the day of the stabbing. The defense now argues that Anthony chose not to testify in his own defense because at the last minute of the trial, prosecutors reversed course and told them if Anthony takes the stand, it would violate their agreement and open the door to all of those character issues being brought out. That agreement is a key part of the defense's argument as to why it is that Anthony deserves a new trial.
There's people out here saying that since Karmelo had both mama and daddy, he wasn't no killer. He was a good kid because he had good parents. Nolan had both parents too and lost his life. And it looked like he lost it to violence. So having two parents don't make somebody turn out better. There's people that ain't got no parents doing better than people that got two parents, a whole community, people that really care about them, and they still wind up messed up.
Because I noticed that a lot of people who, racist people specifically, were saying that Karmelo Anthony must not have had his father in his life, and his father must be a deadbeat, no good person to raise this thug, and that he must be living in the hood and not living good. So I wanted to share these family photos of Karmelo Anthony with his father, his mother, and his siblings, who actually have been together for over 17 years. His family has been together for over 17 years, okay? One mom, all four kids, same dad, very middle, upper class family. Interesting. Because I think a lot of racist people were saying that he didn't come from a loving family and that his father was probably in prison or a loser and had abandoned him when he was young.
She must didn't get the memo about Karmelo killing somebody.
A lot more about through the rest of today and possibly into tomorrow. John?
I would assume if he gets a new trial, that all of the stuff that was presented in court today would probably be admissible, yeah?
Yeah, it absolutely. Prosecutors have already said that's part of the reason both sides agreed to this deal is because they didn't want to further enrage this public debate that was happening outside, where this was really, they felt, throwing gas onto an already big fire if they brought out a lot of these character attacks. Of course, going forward to the next trial, that agreement would not be in place, and all of this would be fair game. Prosecutors have said they would have brought all of this up if it weren't for that agreement.
Texas, we see what happened with Karmelo Anthony, and you said it was a tragedy.
Yeah.
What did you mean by that?
Well, I've done a lot of work in the State House on justice reform, and right now we've got a system that doesn't serve all Americans equally, and we know that Black Texans have been have not gotten the justice they deserve in many cases. And you know, I'm not an expert on this particular case, but I know that there were no Black members of the jury, and to me, that's the only evidence you need to really prove that this system is not working for Black Texans.
Right now, Karmelo Anthony's new legal team is trying to get his murder conviction thrown out because they say that too much of the first trial happened off the record. Anthony is serving 35 years for killing Austin Metcalf during a Frisco ISD track meet last year, but his attorneys want a new trial. Real quick, my name is Janelle Fort, and I'm a journalist based in Dallas. Anthony's attorneys have spent the majority of the morning telling a new judge that some pretty important decisions during the first trial happened behind the scenes. His attorney actually accused the former judge of running what he called a, quote, shadow docket. One of the biggest issues they brought up is courtroom access, which we know has been heavily restricted. The defense says once the overflow courtroom went away, some members of the public were shut out, and there wasn't enough explanation on the record for why. Then there's also this so-called gentleman's agreement. Both sides had agreed to keep certain character evidence about Anthony and Metcalf out of the trial. The defense says that agreement broke down, and that played a role in Anthony ultimately deciding not to testify. Prosecutors are pushing back hard. They say Anthony's original attorneys agreed to those arrangements, and that this case came with an extraordinary security situation and a ton of outside pressure. Now, for some context, new trials aren't granted very often here in Texas. So Anthony's attorneys don't just have to show that things got messy. They have to convince this judge that what happened was serious enough that that conviction should be overturned.
It's bigger than Texas. Same thing going on in Mississippi. They have a history of doing people wrong as well. Hell, you just can't call out those two states. Everywhere in these lands, people of color getting done dirty. That's in Brazil, Mexico, Puerto Rico, Haiti, Africa. You can't name a place where people not being discriminated against. And everybody trying to get to America, so what do that mean? What do that prove? If everybody and their mama trying to get to America, when it comes to Nolan Wells, people got to remember, he in Mississippi. And Mississippi gonna be Mississippi.
As District Attorney for the 19th Circuit Court District of Mississippi, Every death in the county, except those of natural causes and non-criminal car wrecks, are presented to your grand jury. Many people don't know that. Nolan's case is being handled the same way, with the same care and the same commitment to the truth that we handle all death investigations.
She letting y'all know, Nolan can't skip the line because he dead. He gotta wait in line with everybody else.
Every piece of evidence must be examined. Every credible lead must be followed to its conclusion. Every witness interview must be analyzed in context of all other evidence.
They not worried about no pressure, no protesting, no blogs or nothing. She had to smirk about it.
The pressure for answers does not change what the work requires.
For all the people out there talking about justice for Nolan Wells, according to her, y'all better off just shutting up and waiting.
Our responsibility to Nolan and our community is to complete this investigation thoroughly, carefully, without compromise, supported by the evidence and worthy of the confidence of the people we serve. I also understand that many people have questions about why more information has not been released publicly. In Mississippi, the rules of professional conduct restrict the information a prosecutor can release during an investigation.
This gonna be like a heavyweight bout. Karmelo family versus Nolan's family. Who gonna win the spotlight? They brawling it out. I don't know if people gonna let Karmelo family stick around that long, especially with this new evidence coming out, but they don't care. They just want to be a part of the circus. And they gonna keep on campaigning and somebody gonna feed into whatever it is they trying to do. The sky's the limit, like I said earlier. But they sure got some competition with Nolan mama and Eleanor. What's his stepfather name? Eleanor. They're an interracial couple. Got people talking again. They was getting real sooky on one of them podcasts with that pastor talking about how they first met. She was pregnant. Oh, she already had 4-5 kids. But he ain't give a damn. He liked what he saw. She from the Philippines. All his cars exotic. Everything exotic. And now they trying to get justice. I hope they do. That way, we don't have to see this on the screen all day, every day. People accusing Nolan's parents of going Hollywood. His father getting all R&B with it. His mother got a joke or two to crack on TV. It's sort of like they getting comfortable.
Christine Wells Wansley and Elmore Wansley. They're joined by family attorney Ben Crump. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Christine, give us a sense of what the hardest part of today is.
Not having him here, not being able to FaceTime him and sing my horrible happy birthday song. Just him not being here with us.
Elmore, how are you remembering your son on this day? Not so much for how he died, because we still don't know that, but for how he lived.
Just the joy that he brought to our family. Just watching old videos and just reading old messages. Just memories of conversations, of wrestling matches, me chasing them around the house, stuff like that. That really helps with the entire situation. Thinking about the good times.
Why was it important for you all to do these vigils and honor Nolan in this way on his birthday?
To make sure that his story stays alive, for people to understand, too, that it's okay to want to ask questions, want to make sure that you know the truth of what happened, but most importantly, just keeping his legacy alive.
Any idea how Nolan would have celebrated his 19th birthday?
He would have been at school, so yes. Of course we would not have been able to see him until the weekend. So I'm sure he would have gone to football practice, had class, and probably been like, "Hey mom, hey dad, send me some money so I can go get some actual food."
Yes. Ben, want to bring you in here. So where do things stand now in the investigation?
Well, right now we're still seeking answers. I know we're trying to work collaboratively with the district attorney's office. Obviously, the Congressional Black Caucus has asked for the FBI to open an investigation. But, we're celebrating Nolan's birthday, what would have been his 19th birthday. Over a month has passed since his tragic death, and still we don't have the answers to what happened to Nolan Wells.
You've criticized the local authorities' handling of the case, emphasizing the need for transparency. The Jackson County District Attorney released a statement yesterday following public criticism of the DA's office and an investigation of the case, saying in part, public commentary does not make the speaker transparent, just like exercising restraint consistent with the law does not make the process corrupt. The fact that something is said does not necessarily mean it's actually true. What's your response to that?
Well, we've never criticized the district attorney's office. We obviously share with Nolan's parents and his family the question, will we get a full, fair, and transparent investigation in the death of Nolan Wells? Obviously, people are concerned all across America. Can we get a full, fair, transparent investigation? Isn't that what everybody would want if this was their child, to know that their child life is going to be treated as important as any other person's life? And that's what we're fighting for.
Ben, you've mentioned the importance of federal resources. Have you received that?
We haven't gotten an answer to that yet.
Christine and Elmore, what has the community response been like?
So far, it's been very positive. We are so grateful for our community. A lot of people are, showing us a lot of love, especially when we're out in public. So for those of you who are standing behind us, beside us, in support of us, I just want to say thank you to everyone.
Do the police regularly give you updates?
Well, we've been working. I'll say that. We've been engaging with the district attorney's office. And I will say this, Lindsay, that we are still on his birthday asking for the public to continue to share with us photographs, videos, and any kind of things they witnessed out there. We are still trying to get to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. We want to know what happened to Nolan Wells. Wouldn't that be a great birthday present if people came forward and said, I'm going to tell what I saw? Because we always have said from day one, somebody knows something. Somebody saw something.
And Christine and Elmore, have you heard from any of the young men who your son was out with that day?
I feel like everybody needs justice. Nolan family, Karmelo, however that work out, that's how that's gonna work out. I ain't got a dog in the fight. They don't figure out a way to get that attention though. And they gonna keep on using it for all that it's worth. They figure, hell, we was able to do it then, we can do it again this season too of Karmelo Anthony. And they gonna be up for renewal, regardless if he have to stay in jail or not. They ain't never gonna stop. As long as they can get that spotlight and work with it. They had to be jealous when they seen Nolan mama doing them podcasts. They sitting back thinking, that's what we should have did. If they could go back in time, they would have hit up Willie D way before Nolan family got it popping. Nolan family, they pioneers of this thing. We ain't never seen no family do it like this. Headstrong and talking, chatting it up. Done introduce themselves to America. Everybody know who they is. Hell, they feel like the Jackson 5 is 75. What they gonna do next? We waiting to support? Don't let her come out with some sushi rolls or something frozen. Have her on the bag with some dumplings or something. Cause they'll be sold out. Nolan mama got that stir-fried box in Walmart. I know I'll get me some. Eleanor coaching football worldwide. He in the Philippines teaching them how to catch a football over there. No more soccer. Eleanor's in town. The sky's the limit. Karmelo family, what they gonna do? Start selling knives? come out with a samurai collection. They make another Kill Bill when Karmelo get out of jail. What they gonna do? Y'all let me know. I don't know. Y'all let me know, man. I know there's some sad business though. These people competing for the spotlight. One boy gone, the other one in jail. Hell, that's everyday life in America. But they don't find a way to capitalize off of it, man. A tragedy is a tragedy. I'm hoping that Nolan get justice. That's all I got to say about it. And y'all let me know how y'all feel about Karmelo. I'ma just leave it at that. And one more thing.
Subscribe to my channel if that's what you want. But if that's not what you like, then you must be a